Welcome to War Bios, where we delve into the intricacies of history's most pivotal conflicts. I'm your host, General Biography, and today we're going to explore one of the most significant battles in ancient Greek history, the Battle of Cynoscephalae. This clash between the Roman Republic and the Kingdom of Macedon in 197 BCE would prove to be a turning point in the struggle for dominance in the Mediterranean. As we set the stage for this epic confrontation, let's travel back in time to the early 3rd century BCE, when the Macedonian Empire, forged by Philip II and Alexander the Great, was still reeling from the aftermath of Alexander's death. The empire had fractured into several kingdoms, with Macedon being one of the most prominent. In 221 BCE, Philip V ascended to the throne of Macedon, marking the beginning of a new era of expansionist policies that would soon draw the attention of Rome. The complex web of alliances and rivalries between Greek city-states also played a significant role in the lead-up to Cynoscephalae. The Aetolian League, a powerful confederation of city-states in western Greece, had long been at odds with Macedon, while the Achaeans, another influential league, maintained a delicate balance between their relationships with Rome and Macedon. The city-state of Athens, once a dominant force in Greek politics, had seen its power wane in recent centuries, but still held significant cultural and economic influence. In 200 BCE, Rome declared war on Macedon, marking the beginning of the Second Macedonian War. The Roman campaign against Philip V was initially led by the consul Publius Sulpicius Galba, who launched a series of successful attacks against Macedonian strongholds in Illyria and Epirus. However, it was not until the arrival of the Roman consul Titus Quintius Flamininus that the Romans began to make significant gains against Philip's forces. Flamininus, a skilled diplomat and strategist, would play a crucial role in the events leading up to Cynoscephalae. Born into a prominent Roman family, Flamininus had risen through the ranks of Roman politics, serving as a tribune and later as a consul. His experience in Greek affairs and his ability to navigate the complex web of alliances between city-states made him an ideal candidate to lead the Roman campaign against Macedon. As we explore the intricate history surrounding Cynoscephalae, it becomes clear that this battle was not an isolated event, but rather a culmination of years of tension and conflict between Rome and Macedon. The fate of Greece and the balance of power in the ancient world hung precariously in the balance as two of history's greatest military powers prepared to collide in a struggle that would leave an indelible mark on the course of human conflict. The stage was now set for the pivotal events that would lead to the Battle of Cynoscephalae. The Roman and Macedonian armies were poised to clash in a struggle that would decide the fate of empires. In 117 BCE, the Roman consul Titus Quintius Flamininus led his army into Thessaly, a region in northern Greece, with the goal of defeating Philip V's forces and securing a decisive victory. The Roman army, comprising approximately 20,000 infantry and 2,000 cavalry, was a well-trained and disciplined force, with a mix of legionaries, allied troops, and mercenaries. As Flamininus marched his army through the rolling hills and fertile valleys of Thessaly, he encountered the Macedonian phalanx formation, a formidable wall of long spears and shields that had been the backbone of Philip II's and Alexander's armies. The phalanx was nearly impenetrable, but Flamininus had a plan to exploit its weaknesses. On a fateful day in June 197 BCE, the two armies clashed on the hills of Cynoscephalae, which translates to "dog's heads" in Greek. The terrain was rugged and uneven, with rocky outcroppings and steep slopes that would play a crucial role in the battle. As the Roman army advanced, they were met with a hail of missiles from the Macedonian phalanx, but Flamininus held his ground, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The turning point came when a group of Roman soldiers, led by a tribune named Marcus, stumbled upon a weak point in the Macedonian line. Seizing the opportunity, Flamininus ordered his troops to attack, and the Roman army surged forward with a fierce battle cry. The Macedonian phalanx wavered and then broke as the Romans poured through the gap and attacked from the rear. As the dust settled, the Romans emerged victorious, having inflicted heavy casualties on the Macedonians. Philip V's army was defeated, and he was forced to sue for peace. The terms of the treaty were harsh. Macedon would have to relinquish control over much of Greece, and Philip V would be required to pay a hefty indemnity to Rome. In the aftermath of Cynoscephalae, Flamininus declared that the Greeks were free and that Rome would not impose its rule on them. This move was a masterstroke of diplomacy, as it won the hearts and minds of the Greek city-states, which began to see Rome as a liberator rather than a conqueror. As we reflect on the Battle of Cynoscephalae, we are reminded of the words of the ancient Greek historian Polybius, who wrote that the battle was a remarkable example of the importance of adaptability and clever tactics in warfare. Indeed, Flamininus's victory at Cynoscephalae marked a turning point in the history of the Mediterranean world, as Rome began to assert its dominance over the region. The legacy of Cynoscephalae would be felt for centuries to come, shaping the course of Western civilization and leaving an indelible mark on the world. The defeat at Cynoscephalae marked a significant turning point for the Kingdom of Macedon. Philip V's army was severely weakened, and he was forced to relinquish control over much of Greece. The treaty imposed by Rome, known as the Treaty of Tempe, required Macedon to pay a hefty indemnity and reduce its military presence in the region. This marked the beginning of the end of Macedonian dominance in Greece. In the years that followed, the Kingdom of Macedon struggled to maintain its independence. Philip V's successor, Perseus, attempted to rebuild the kingdom's power, but his efforts were ultimately unsuccessful. In 68 BCE, the Romans defeated Perseus at the Battle of Pydna, and Macedon was eventually divided into 4 smaller republics. As the Roman Empire continued to expand its reach, the Greek city-states navigated the complex web of alliances and rivalries in the region. Some cities, such as Athens and Sparta, maintained a degree of autonomy, while others were absorbed into the Roman Empire. The legacy of Cynoscephalae can be seen in the spread of Roman influence throughout Greece, as well as the eventual decline of the Greek city-state system. The Battle of Cynoscephalae also had a profound impact on the development of warfare in the ancient world. The innovative tactics employed by Flamininus, such as the use of flexible maniples and the exploitation of terrain, became a hallmark of Roman military strategy. The phalanx formation, which had been so effective for the Macedonians, was eventually replaced by more flexible and adaptable formations. In the centuries that followed, the legacy of Cynoscephalae continued to shape the course of Western civilization. The Roman Empire's expansion into Greece and beyond helped spread Greek culture, language, and philosophy throughout the Mediterranean world. The ideas of Aristotle, Plato, and other Greek philosophers had a profound impact on Western thought, shaping the development of science, art, and literature for centuries to come. As we reflect on the decline and aftermath of the Kingdom of Macedon, as well as the lasting legacy of the Battle of Cynoscephalae, we are reminded of the words of the ancient Greek historian Polybius, who wrote that the fate of empires is often decided by a single battle. Indeed, the Battle of Cynoscephalae marked a turning point in the history of the Mediterranean world, shaping the course of Western civilization and leaving an indelible mark on the world. In conclusion, the legacy of Cynoscephalae serves as a reminder of the power of strategic genius, adaptability, and clever tactics in warfare. That's all for today's War Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, I'm General Biography reminding you to keep marching toward victory.